Well, here we are with another romance novel haul. And my previous video kind of ended early because I only have about 20 or 21 minutes that my cell phone holds of video. So it cut off before it ended. So some of these I might have shown the spines of them at the very beginning of the video, but I did not get a chance to actually show the front covers. And then some of these are new ones that just came in. In fact, I got about 12 of them that just came in today. So we're just going to look at all these. Now I'm going to start with the vintage ones, and then as we go along, we'll gradually move to the more recent ones. So let us begin. Now I had gotten a whole bunch of Galen, Richard Galen books today that were put out by Pocket Books in the early 1980s, from around 1979 to 1982. And this is one of them. This is called The Golden Rapture. Now this is an early one. This is from like 1980 because it has the Gallen frame, that the Gallen and the slanted writing, but it doesn't actually say Gallen on the front. But if you turn it around and look on the back, it mentions Richard Galen books. And this one is by Paula Moore. If you look at the fine print in here, it's actually Robert Vaughn is the name of the writer. This came out in October 1980. And it's a typical looking cover of the line. Now, the Richard Galen line alternated between contemporary and historicals. So they would come out with like 2 books a month, and one might be a contemporary, one might be a historical. There's another Paula Moore book, but this one, unlike the other one, is a contemporary novel. It shows on the back there what it's about. Now this one looks interesting. Promise Me Forever by Jacqueline Martin. And it says, a romance that lived through centuries, a passion that would not die. So it's a contemporary, but it has a historical backdrop. As Jamie Stewart, courageous soldier of the Revolutionary War, lay dying, he made this vow to the spirited colonial beauty he loved more than life itself. Nothing, not even death, could keep them apart. Now, centuries later, delicate blonde Gina Jacobi meets handsome archaeologist Miles Edward. Puzzled by the depth of the passion she immediately feels, Gina soon begins to wonder if meeting Miles is more than just chance. Could they have loved before, in another world, another lifetime? So it seems to have a sort of reincarnation theme to it. Who knows? And that's October 1981 is when that came out. Now we have another Galen book here. This is a historical, a really nice cover on that one. It's hard to see there. Bridge to Tomorrow by Leila Lyons, who I believe wrote 2 other Galen romances. Yeah, Pillars of Heaven and Stark Quality. And Leila Lyons being a pen name for J.C. Conway. This is from January 1982. It begins with a quote from Ezra Pound. Interesting. Now it mentions the Scarlet Lily coming out the next month. And as it happens, we have the Scarlet Lily right here by D. Stewart. It's another historical Galen book. Interesting. From February 1982. And Petra Lee had also written for Galen, but this is not a Galen book by her. This was published by Warner Books. The stage was the world to her until love cast her into the drama of life. There's a nice spine there. All right. So now we have another one. These all came today in the mail, by the way, all these ones. Satan's Angel by Catherine Atwood, published by Jove Books. They called her the devil's daughter, and only the black-hearted duke could tame her. This looks interesting. 1981 is when this came out. And it has a rather interesting and somewhat explicit opening paragraph there. Jack O'Connell, Irish soldier of fortune, rakehill, gambler, thief, cutpurse, occasional highwayman, an all-around rascal, strove with all his might, bull-like strength, and not inconsiderable will to obey his rapacious mistress. And it's somewhat racy descriptions that follow. And we'll take a look at another book here. Now this is a saga, perhaps not so much a romance, I guess we'll see, is Frontier Women Saga, book number 1. And the title of it is Caitlin McGregor, and the author's name is Kit Brown. A sweeping, violent, heart-stirring adventure. This is published by Fawcett Gold Medal, I believe in 1981. See, as you can see there, there's the front. Yes, July 1981. A very detailed looking beginning there. More of a historical saga. Looks like the first book in the Frontier Women Saga. And finally here, for the ones that just came in the mail today, we have some Avon romances. The Avon romance line always had that ribbon. And if you looked at some of my previous videos, I've talked about them. Now, both of these books are by Jane Feather, who is still writing historical romances today. In fact, if you go to the store like Walmart and so forth, you'll see her most recent novel, I think it was called Ravished with Rubies. It was the name of it. It looked interesting. These are from like the late 1980s. February 1988. So this is early Jane Feather. And nice covers there. Heart's Folly. From September 88. It looks interesting. Alright, we'll take a look at some more here. This one is one I actually got from a used bookstore in this area. Always marked with a smiley face, the bottom edges, but they're 6 for $5. So they have these little bargain tables where it's like buy 5, get the 6th one free. And in the mid-90s, Avon Books was doing a traditional Regency line that wasn't numbered or anything, but it had this sort of style to it. I think Ellen Edwards was the editor at the time, who previously had done Second Chance at Love, which we'll look at in a moment. But this was near the end of the line. Lord Fortune's Prize by Nancy Richard Akers. And it says other Regency romances. Don't miss these Regency romances. So this was their traditional line. They're thinner books. They're around 200 pages. This one's from June 1993. I believe they stopped doing them around 95. And we'll take another look over here. This is another one that I got from the 6 for $5. This is a Harlequin historical, which you can see from the side there. It's from the 90s. Apache Fire by Elizabeth Lane. Pino is a famous illustrator of a lot of these. I guess that's how his name is pronounced. Pino. Is a famous illustrator of a lot of these romance covers at that time. And this is a really attractive cover. Very nicely done. A dangerous man lay near death at Rose Colby's feet. I guess so this is from 1998. Book number 436 of the Harlequin Historicals line. And here's a book from Avon, A Christmas Present. So I guess this may have been a free with purchase. This was free with the purchase of a Brenda Novak novel, I believe. Yeah, or Brenda Joyce, rather. Brenda Joyce romances: Violent Fire, Innocent Fire, Firestorm. Brenda Joyce having gotten some of her start, I believe, in the Avon romance, those ribbon romances that I was showing before. Um, but this is a collection, I believe, of short stories, holiday stories or novellas by Loretta Chase, Judith E. French, and Lisa Kleypas, and a special preview of a Brenda Joyce novel. So there we have what's in the book. There's the first story, and so on. There's historical romance stories. Now, Philippa Carr, who is also Victoria Holt, the Black Swan, who did a series of historical novels that were, I believe they start in like Elizabethan times or something like that, and then they gradually go forward in time. And this is one of those. The Cornwall Saga Continues, it says. Nice cover. Try to get it without the light showing on it, though. And there's the back cover. Has she sent the wrong man to the gallows? It says. Another Fawcett Gold medal book. There's a list of Philippa Carr novels. And again, those are just the ones as Philippa Carr. She also wrote as Jean Plaidy as well. And Victoria Holt, of course. Victoria Holt being probably the most popular of her names, or pseudonyms. All right, so here's some more. Let's get rid of this here. Catherine Kincaid, Beloved Bondage. How about this at a thrift store? I'm not sure. Here's the step back of it. I believe this takes place like during Roman times. Well, Island of Britannia, 37 AD. This book was published by Zebra Books in 1993. But it looks really interesting. Really nice cover. All right, Barbara Dawson Smith, Fire at Midnight. This is an Avon historical novel. It's actually called a, what did they call it here? Let's see what it is. An Avon romantic treasure. So I don't know if that was a certain line or certain ones were designated as romantic treasures. I guess maybe to highlight certain ones. This is from 1992. And it looks like it takes place in the Old West, does it? Oh no, it's London Society. Well, we'll have to see. But it looks really thick. It's like 400 some pages long. There's Barbara Dawson Smith there. Tiger Prince by Iris Johansen, who wrote a lot of love swept books. I can't remember if I showed this one or not before. I think it was in the pile that I had last time when I ran out of time. A Bantam Fanfare release, which I guess was sort of like their Avon romantic treasures. Tiger. And this is also really thick. There's Iris Johansen there. He later went on, I believe, to do like thriller type stuff. Elizabeth Lowell, historical novel. Here's the step back. It's really nice there. Whoop. Keep getting the glare from the light. Only Mine is the name of this one. Published by Avon. 1982. Lisa Bingham. This is published by Pocket Books. Wild Serenade. (1997). Here's another Pocket Books. Everlasting Love. Sparkling New Romances by Jane Ann Krentz, Linda Howard, Casey Michaels, Linda Miller, and Carla Neggers. And let us see here. Yep, 5 stories, which is quite a bit. And it looks like these are all their first appearances, according to the copyright page. 1995. There's the back cover. Now here's a one I was surprised to see at the thrift store. It's a Sapphire Romance, which was a line that came out in the 1980s, early 80s, 1982, I believe, from RCA, which was in cooperation with Hamlin, which was a UK publisher. And I only have a few of them. And I don't know much about the company or the line. A Sapphire Romance. I assume they were just trying to jump into the the booming romance market. First published in Great Britain in 1982, but printed and marketed in the U.S. by RCA Direct Marketing. But this is a British novel then, just being reprinted in the U.S. But see, there's no price on it that I can see. And I know that they did sell things through the mail, so I don't know if it was primarily a mail order thing or what. There's no UPC barcode either, you'll notice. So that could be something. Here's a Christian inspirational historical novel. Juliana of Clover Hill. This was book number 4. There's the number there, it's hard to see. Book number 4 of the Serenade Saga line, which, like I said, was published by Zondervan, Christian publisher. Now, the interesting thing about this one is apparently it's based on a true story. So it's based on a true story, which was, I guess, about her father. So it's a sort of I guess about how her parents met. I don't know. It looks like it's here we go. It's based on a true story of the courtship of Brenda's parents, the author's parents. So that's there's a little shipper that's to promote these Serenade Saga books. So it shows that it's not just something that people hacked out. This is someone's life story, and obviously so it was meaningful to them. And looks like the artist is painting the woman here. And I've not read it, so I don't know if it's good, but it's it's more than just something to be dismissed out of hand. Someone's life. Here we have a whole bunch of second chance romances that I mentioned earlier. These were published by Berkeley Jove in the 1980s, and Ellen Edwards, like I said, was the editor of the line at the time. And those are 2 of them. They were mostly contemporaries. There were a few Regencies that they did early on, but mostly contemporary romances, sort of competing with Harlequin and Candlelight Ecstasy and Silhouette at the time. This is a football theme, 2 in a Huddle. Catherine Get Ranger, A Place in the Sun. Book number 341. As you can see, they've changed the cover design. I prefer this cover design. It shows off more of the artwork. And 474 and 475. Sugar and Cinnamon, a nice title. And this one is funny, where it's the author has thanked Stella Cameron, Jane Ann Krentz, Debbie McComber, and Linda L. Miller. Talk about name dropping. But I think she only wrote a total of like 10 or 9 books. I think she wrote 4 under this name. She wrote 4 Second Chance at Loves, according to the Fiction DB website. Noreen Brownlee is her real name. And she wrote 5 books, I think 4 of them for Silhouette, under her real name. And one of them was a Harlequin American romance, I believe, back in the 1980s. And I don't think she wrote anything since. But anyways, Second Chance at Love, as it mentions here, was ending. It says after many wonderful years, they decided to cancel the line. So the following month, December 1989, was the end of the road for Second Chance at Love. And we have 2 Janet Daly novels here, who passed away some years ago. Dance With Me is actually a collection of 2 Harlequin Presents stories. So it says Fire and Ice, 1975, Matchmakers, 1977. It was published by Zebra, but those were originally published by Mills and Boon in the UK, but a year or 2 later they were published as part of the Harlequin Presents line. But it's interesting that they were just kept in print, by Zebra. And this one is looks like a ranch romance. 2019. Copyright 2019. So it's and this paperback edition is from 2020. So it looks like a new, quote-unquote, new novel by Janet Daly. And we're going to have to wrap this up here because I'm running out of time, but we have another box book I got out of the used bookstore lot. It was Kathleen Eagle's Cowboy Take Me Away, a silhouette special, or I think they're Harlequin now. Yeah, Harlequin special edition from May 2011. A Linda Lell Miller by Harlequin. And this is from 2008, but I think this edition is probably later. And some Diana Palmer. And that's about it. And this also has Lindsay McKenna and Kate Pierce stories in it. And I'll have to get to the rest another time, out of time. Thanks for watching.